Have you ever felt like you're your own worst enemy? You have these big dreams, you know what you should be doing, but there's just something invisible that keeps pulling you back. It's what makes you procrastinate, doubt yourself, and give up right before you get to the good part. It's a frustrating, exhausting cycle, and you end up feeling totally stuck, just watching your own potential from the sidelines. What if I told you that one single lie, a lie you probably don't even realize you believe, is secretly running the whole show? That it's the invisible architect behind your fears, your insecurities, and all your self-sabotage. In this video, we are going to drag that lie out into the light. We'll figure out where it came from, and I'm going to show you, step by step, how letting it go is the first real step toward the freedom and success you've been looking for. So, what is this all-powerful lie? It's a quiet whisper you've probably mistaken for your own voice for years. It's the foundational belief that holds up almost every other fear you have. The lie is this: there's something fundamentally wrong with me. Maybe for you, it sounds a little different. Maybe it's, I'm just not good enough. Or, I'm unworthy of love and success. Or, I'm broken beyond repair. Sometimes it's just a vague, sinking feeling that you're a fraud, and it's only a matter of time before everyone finds out. This isn't just some passing negative thought. It's a core limiting belief. Psychological research shows these beliefs, often formed when we're kids, act like a subconscious filter that colors every single one of your perceptions and decisions. They are the stories you tell yourself about who you are, and your brain works tirelessly to prove them true. If you believe, deep down, that you're unworthy, you will unconsciously torpedo opportunities that could lead to success. You'll push away healthy relationships because they don't fit your story of being unlovable. You'll procrastinate on that big project because trying and failing would just confirm your deepest fear, that you weren't cut out for it in the first place. And boom, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your belief creates your reality. You might be thinking, okay, but why would I ever choose to believe something so destructive? Here's the thing. You didn't. Nobody does. These beliefs aren't chosen. They're absorbed. They often start in childhood from tough experiences, trauma, or just unmet needs. Maybe it was a critical parent, a teacher who made you feel small, or a really painful rejection from friends. As kids, we don't have the mental toolkit to question the adults we depend on. If someone we rely on for survival treats us like we're a burden or flawed, we take them at their word. We internalize it. That belief becomes the default software our brain runs on for decades. And here's the crazy part. The brain loves what's familiar, even if it's painful. The lie of, I'm not good enough, becomes a weird source of comfort. It's predictable. The world makes sense through this lens. Success feels scary because it's new territory. It contradicts your core story. Failure, on the other hand, feels strangely familiar, almost like a win for your subconscious, because it proves the old story was right all along. Holding onto this lie has devastating consequences that go way beyond just feeling bad. It's a major driver of chronic anxiety, depression, and stress. When you're constantly running on a not enough battery, your nervous system is always on high alert. This chronic stress doesn't just wreck your mental health, it's linked to a weaker immune system and even heart problems. That lie in your head can literally make your body sick. This isn't just self-help fluff. It's a core principle in treatments like cognitive behavioral therapy. The whole idea is that our beliefs directly create our feelings, and our feelings drive our actions. To change your life, you have to get to the source code. You have to change the belief. I know this pattern because I lived it. For years, I was the king of self-sabotage. I'd get fired up about a new project, work like crazy, get right to the edge of a breakthrough, and then I'd completely fall apart. I'd procrastinate, pick fights with people I was working with, or just suddenly lose all my confidence. One of the biggest examples was a huge project I landed early in my career. It was everything I'd been working for. On paper, I was qualified. I had the skills, but I was living in a state of constant paralyzing fear that I was a fraud about to be exposed. Classic impostor syndrome. I started second-guessing every single decision. I'd stay up all night perfecting things, only to scrap it all the next morning. I got irritable and defensive with my team. I was so convinced I was going to fail that I was basically engineering the failure myself. One night, totally exhausted and about to quit, I finally asked myself a different question. Instead of, "What's wrong with this project?" I asked, "Why do I feel like something is wrong with me?" The memory that surfaced was shockingly clear. I was about 8 years old, so proud of a drawing I'd made. I ran to show it to a family member, and they barely looked up from what they were doing and said, "That's nice, but you're not exactly an artist, are you?" It was a small, thoughtless comment. Total nothing moment for them. But for an 8-year-old kid desperate for approval, the message I got was devastating. Your best isn't good enough. You are fundamentally lacking. Sitting there in my office as an adult, I realized I was still that 8-year-old boy, terrified of being told he wasn't a real artist. This project was my drawing, and I was just bracing for that same dismissal. That lie, "There is something wrong with me," had been running my life for 20 years without my permission. Seeing it for what it was, not a truth, but just an old, expired story, was the first moment I felt truly free. Does any of this sound familiar? Seriously, take a second to think about it. If you feel comfortable, share in the comments what your version of this lie sounds like. Just naming it is a huge first step, and seeing that you're not alone is incredibly powerful. And hey, if you're getting something out of this, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to walk this path together. Okay, so we've found the lie and we know where it comes from. Now for the important part, how do we get rid of it? You can't just flip a switch and decide to believe something new. It's a process. Here are 4 real, actionable steps you can start using today. Step 1. Notice and name it. You can't fix a problem you don't know you have. The first step is to just start paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judging them. When you feel that spike of anxiety, that urge to procrastinate, that wave of feeling like a fraud, just pause. Ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself right now? Then name it. Say it out loud. Ah, there it is, the "I'm not good enough" story. Just by naming it, you create distance. You are not the thought. You are the one noticing the thought. Step 2. Trace and empathize. Once you've caught the lie in the act, get curious. Ask, when was the first time I remember feeling this way? Let your mind wander back, just like I did. You might be surprised what pops up. The goal here isn't to blame anyone, it's to understand where the wound came from. Then do something that might feel a little weird at first. Send some compassion to your younger self. Picture that little kid who was hurt or scared. Tell them, you did the best you could. That wasn't your fault. You were always good enough. This act of inner kindness starts to heal the old wound that the lie was created to protect. Step 3. challenge, and reframe. Time to put on your detective hat and look for the facts. Your limiting belief makes a big claim, but it isn't a fact. So, challenge it. Ask yourself, is it 100% unequivocally true that there is something wrong with me? Grab a pen and write down all the evidence that proves this lie is wrong. Every single success, big or small. Every time you've been a good friend. Every skill you've learned. Every challenge you've pushed through. You'll quickly find that the evidence against the lie is overwhelming. Then, create an accurate replacement belief. This can't be some over-the-top fake affirmation. If you're going from "I'm worthless," a new belief like "I am a perfect, flawless genius" is never going to stick. But something like "I am a human being, inherently worthy of respect and capable of growth" is both true and incredibly powerful. Step 4. Integrate through action. A belief is only real if you act on it. The final step is to start behaving as if your new, empowering belief is true. If your new belief is, "I'm capable of taking on new challenges," then go sign up for that course or apply for that job you've been putting off. If your new belief is, "My needs are valid," go practice setting a small boundary with someone this week. Every time you take an action that aligns with your new belief, you are carving a new neural pathway in your brain. You are literally rewiring your mind and proving the old lie wrong with your actions. Letting go of this one fundamental lie, the idea that there's something wrong with you, is not an overnight fix. It's a practice. It's a moment-by-moment choice to stop believing a story that isn't serving you anymore. But this is where true freedom really begins. When you finally put down the weight of that lie, you reclaim a massive amount of mental and emotional energy that you were wasting on anxiety, self-doubt, and fighting with yourself. You start making choices from a place of worthiness, not fear. You build better relationships, you become more resilient, and you finally unlock the ability to go after your goals with everything you've got, free from the invisible chains you put on yourself. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You never were. You were simply running on a faulty program, and today is the day you start rewriting the code. Thanks for watching. Be patient and kind to yourself. You're unlearning years of conditioning, and that is a seriously courageous thing to do. Now go on and live like you're already free.